Okay, now I know that many of the things that we've been doing in the latest module that we've done, adding so many breakdowns and going this far into blocking, many animators, they actually do this kind of process by polishing. Nothing bad about that. Each animator has their own system, right? I really like to do it this way because it's, artistically speaking, to me, I like it more, and this kind of going that far, working with the tiny little details, it feels like a little bit more like crafting my shot as much as I can. But also we have another benefits. When we go this far in working at those tiny little details, tweaking our poses, adding details here and there, and keeping most of the animation on twos, we are actually keeping everything under control. If something happens after this, it's going to be very easy for us just to change or to add something. We are also training ourselves or training our eyes in a way to be very, very specific and very, very, very picky with all the deformations that are happening in our animation. You're going to see that as you continue in this career, your eye is going to get very experienced and is going to be able to catch every tiny little change that is happening in your animation, right? So by practicing an animation that is highly detailing frame to frame, you're helping yourself to also understand the animation from a very, very, let's say, subtle and deep perspective. This is how actually we learn how to consider the animation is a process of making poses evolving through the time. In this last stage, the number 5, basically what we've done is to allow ourselves to enter into a state of working or a system of working that is less rigid and very, very creative. The 4 first stages that we've been working on is basically to create, of course, creatively speaking in terms of posing, a structure that is going to help us to see and to integrate everything that we hear and we see into the unity of the shot in a way that, wow, it's alive, everything is working good. But in this 5th stage is where the quality of the aliveness is evolving or is going to the next step, is where we are in those tiny little details where we are making tiny deformations that adds like a lot of life as well. We work on secondary timing as well. We work on the facial expression a little bit deeper than we did before. So all this is helping us to get or to understand how tiny little changes help us to get that sensation of aliveness in a very interesting way. Even just working with a couple of eye darts that have a smear in the middle, if it's very nice done and if it's done in between the poses that we need to do, that simple eye dart can add so much, right? I am really happy, for example, how those blinks turn out to be at the very end, right, when the character is looking one side to the other. I'm very happy. Even though I had that idea more or less of what I was about to do a few weeks ago, but of course, you never know what is going to happen right at the end. But I'm always surprised how such a simple resource of just holding the pose, because the character is holding the pose, that's all it's doing, is holding the pose and then adding, we could say, a little bit complex movements of the mask of the eye. But still, it's a simple blink can add so much, right? And can help so much to give the impression of, wow, the character is alive, and not only that, it's alive in a very interesting way. So basically speaking, by going this far on the definition of the shot still in blocking, what we are doing is that we're getting close to the workflow, the work system, to the 2D animation or to the stop motion. And by doing this way, let's say that we are releasing our fears of trying to get deep and trying to do like lots of things and detailing things in a small amount and working on a stepped mode, right? when we got this deep and we release, let's say, those fears on going that far and to explore and to play, is when we really start to be very creative. Our creativity many times, but many times, get limited just by the simple thing of being afraid of moving things, of I don't know if this is working, I don't know if that's gonna work or not. Of course, the first time that you do many things overall, when it's like tiny little details or subtle animation here and there, or adding in betweens, the first time things get ugly, right? Well, that's why the copy aspect of this, so you can really see how much I am moving things and what's the amount of movement that the different parts of the body has through how so many frames, for example. So this way you really learn to say, oh, so if I do this and if I do that, it's really working, right? So because you can see that at least what I've done is working, right? So if you see that what I've done is working, the only thing that you have to do is try to copy as best as you can in order to reproduce it, right? And in the next time that you do it, probably you'll do it good, right? And you don't have that fear. You won't have that kind of limitation of, oh, I don't know if to try that. I don't know if I should keep going this way. Maybe I should start splining, or those kind of fails that happen many times when we are starting to polish. So by doing this, I'm hoping that you get more creative, or you get more playful, and you enjoy by doing more playful, because sometimes we struggle also in the process of animation making, because it's a hard thing to do sometimes, because sometimes we cannot make whatever we want to do, right? And it's a pain. So I hope that also by doing this, you are getting more control of even the tiny little details that you are doing. So by gaining more control, you're just simply more able to do whatever you want to do, and that is the door to enjoyment, and that's the door to really have fun in animation. When you really start to have fun in animation is what you do the animations that you want to do, and when you do the ideas that you want to do, and when you see that you are able to do it, and when you see that it's not a big deal, it's not a big effort for you, you just do it, right? So I'm really hoping that you also can achieve that by this process of going this far detailing. So once we have reached this stage of the shot, that would be pretty much it for blocking. This is what we would do in order to show to our leads, or to supervisor, or to our directors, a stage that it would be called blocking advance or blocking plus. But it depends on where you're working and the way the director understands it. And maybe this can be called a work in progress. I have gotten myself lots of finals, like a shot gets approved in this stage, even though I still need to go through a process of polish. But this amount of definition and aliveness and how everything is working together in such an interesting way, it's already pretty close to what is going to be looking when you finish your polish. And not only that, it's already giving the impression that the character is alive. It's already giving the impression that it's almost there, it's almost done. So splining just would be another step forward in order to add more definition, or more breakdowns, or more cleaning up. Creatively speaking, depending on how you see the process of splining, not necessarily needs to be more creative, but the goal here is that when we finish this stage 5 of blocking plus, the character is alive in a very interesting way, in a way that you feel basically satisfied, creatively speaking, that you feel that the shot is almost done. Because if we would be working in a show that there is working on 12 frames per second, this could be perfectly a final shot, right? Like as we mentioned maybe before, like in Spider-Man or on other shows where they are working on twos. This could be close to a final. We may need to add like a few more details or breakdowns here and there, but it's basically there. So that's pretty much it.